Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make is a giant cinnamon skillet roll. So let's get started. Now, I made my dough in a bread maker. If you do not have a bread maker or you don't want to use a bread maker, you can go ahead and follow the directions and make the bread by hand. And I'm going to give you the recipe first to start off. You're going to need 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry active yeast, a 1/2 cup of water, and the water should be about 115 to 120 degrees, 1/4 cup of milk, also warm, 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and 1 large egg that you've had at room temperature, and go ahead and beat it up a little bit before you put it in. Now, do follow the directions on your bread maker, what to put in first, whether it's water or the dry ingredients, because every maker is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some flour on my countertop here and take out the dough that I made with the recipe I just gave you. The recipe will be below the video. Also, let me get this all out. It's going to be very sticky dough. So you'll have to be a little patient with it. But just put a flour on your hands, and that does help it a lot. It produces a really nice, very lightweight dough, as you can see. Very nice elasticized, easy to work with. And just lay it on your countertop or your board. And I'm going to roll it out to a rectangle, and I want to get 15 by 12 inches. Okay. So I have my measuring tape here so that I can see what I have. It's 12. Okay. And I got to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, I have my 12, and I need the 15. So I need just a little bit longer here. Okay, 15 and 12. 12 by 15 rectangle. I'll put that aside for the moment. And the next thing that you're going to need is 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I've had it at room temperature. Some of it's melted a little bit, so. And then just start spreading that butter all over that rectangle. Try to leave the sides out a little bit. You don't want it too close to the end. Now, this is a little bit messy to put together. You'll have sugar probably all over your counter, maybe even on you. So it is a little bit messier than if we were just making the individual rolls. And just spread out that butter as evenly as you can. And as I said, try to keep it away from the edges, maybe perhaps a 1/2 inch or so. Okay. And there we have it. Okay, now we'll set that aside. And the next thing you're going to need is granulated sugar. So you're going to be using a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and you've already put down 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and you're going to put 1 1/2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And then I'm just going to stir the cinnamon and the granulated sugar together in this bowl. Okay, and then just start, sprinkling it on your rectangle of your dough. Try to put it down as evenly as possible. Again, you don't want to get too close to the edge. Try to put it out again as evenly as possible. Okay. There we go. These rolls come out so light and airy, and they really taste, well, they're really taste just delicious when they're done. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to need to cut it, and you can use whatever sharp knife you have. I find cutting it with a pizza cutter is easier, but everybody is different. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to cut it in half, and then I want to cut it into 6 strips, like that. Okay. The next thing, of course, you're going to need a skillet, and you're going to need to grease it. I've used a solid shortening. You certainly can use oil, whatever choice of oil that you want. And you need at least a 9 or a 10 inch for this. Okay. And what you want to do is just take your first strip off the counter. This is where it does get kind of, kind of messy. And then I want you just to roll it loosely, not too tight, like that, just like you're making a cinnamon roll. Okay? And then put that in the center of your pan, like that. Okay? I hope you can see that. Okay? And then just pinch it off together, the 2 pieces together. Now take your other slice, and again, this is going to go over your counter. It's going to get a little messy. Lift your strip up, okay? And then just start wrapping the strip, not too tightly, but around that first one. And then just pinch it with your fingers closed. And we're going to keep doing that till all the strips are used up. And if you can see that, it looks like it's just getting a bigger cinnamon roll. And then we're going to take the other piece out and do the same thing and just wrap it around, not too tightly, but you do want to seal the pieces together. And you can do that by just squeezing the dough with your fingertips, okay? Then we have another strip. Now, don't be afraid that you're losing, your cinnamon sugar, because what's ever left, we're going to sprinkle it on the top. Remember to seal off those little strips. Okay? And then we have another piece that's going on. And don't forget to seal it. And then we have the very last one that's going to go on. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, because when it bakes up, it's just going to come out, look like a big flower almost. Okay? And it will look like this. And you'll see all that extra room that you still have in your pan, because what we're going to do is put a towel over that and then let it rise till it's almost double. And then a little bit of the cinnamon that I have, I'm just going to put that on top. Now, put a towel or a piece of plastic wrap over the top if you'd like. I'm going to rinse my hands quickly. whatever you prefer. And it's going to need to almost double in size, and that might take you about an hour or so. It really depends on the temperature of your oven. Mine took today about an hour and 10 minutes for it to double in size. But again, like I said, just take a clean towel or a piece of saran wrap and cover it, and put this in a warm part of your kitchen till it doubles in size. Now, once it does double in size, then you're going to need to put this in a 400-degree oven, and it's going to take you anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to bake it. After that, then it's up to you whether you want to make a cream cheese frosting topping, or just a sugar glaze with, a cup of powdered sugar and a tablespoon of milk or cream, and you can also put a teaspoon of vanilla in that, and mix it, to the consistency, how thick or thin that you want it. That'll make a pretty nice thick glaze over it if you want the sugar. If you're looking for any of the different icings and frostings and cream cheese and that type of thing, I do have some recipes and videos on those, so do check those out, okay? Now, I'm just going to clean my table here, my countertop rather, just a little bit here, and get this out of the way, because I want to show you what it looks like once it's baked up. And there you have it. So once again, I made the dough on the dough cycle in my bread maker. You can make it by hand. Then I cut it up and put it together just as I showed you in the video. But you will need to second rise this. So put a towel or plastic wrap, let it till it doubles, and then again bake it at 400 degrees. When it comes out, put it on a cooling rack, and I find it is best to put your cream cheese frosting on it or glaze it while the baked item here is still hot, okay? I'm going to show you what it looks like cut. So I just want to pull it away from the sides of the pan. But it really makes such a beautiful presentation. This particular roll or cake, whatever you prefer to call it, does taste best the day that you make it. You can serve it warm or cool with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and it produces a really extremely light and moist, almost like an angel food cake. This is how light. It's not dense at all. Just a beautiful, large or giant cinnamon skillet roll. I hope you try this recipe, and if you like it, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.